Greed pot back well, back come.
I don't know what that was supposed to be. But welcome back to the Pot of Greed, everybody.
Welcome back indeed.
This, man, I gotta say, it feels like it's been so long. You know, because like last week.
That was with Larry.
Yeah, we had Larry on.
But we shot that the same week we shot the last one. So.
Yeah, so it feels like it's been like forever since I've talked to you guys. There's a lot to talk about this week, by the way.
I mean, that's what happens when you skip an entire week.
You skip a week, so there's so much news. There, you know, magnificent monsters, battles of legend. I went to YCS Columbus. There's gaming news. Next week is going to be like Summer Games Fest and State of Play and Xbox Game Showcase and all this stuff.
We're going to weigh in on all of that.
Yeah, there's a lot we're going to be talking about. But before we get into all of it,
make sure you give us a like and comment.
Yeah, a 1 in the chat if you're listening to the premiere.
Gang, rise up.
Hype the video if you're on mobile.
Because you got to help out small channels.
Helps us out a lot, seriously. It means the world. And all the other good things. It goes a long way.
Do all the things.
Okay, so I think that we should start with, I want to call this like my shard for the week, but it's kind of a big one.
Yeah. You only shard once a week?
Yeah, okay. I just got back, or not just, gonna spend a few days. I went to YCS Columbus this past weekend.
Yeah, you and every other YouTuber.
Yeah, there were a lot of YouTubers there. And so this was a YCS. This was the first YCS that I have competed in since like Dallas 2019 or something like that, like Fort Worth in like the end of 2019.
You were alive in 2019? That's crazy.
It does feel like a different world, doesn't it, sometimes, you know?
That's before the pandemic.
Yeah, I know. Like, was it even real?
Like, who knows?
Yeah, so I went to YCS Columbus and competed. I've been to a couple of like YCSs and Nats and stuff last year, but I hadn't really played. So it was really fun and exciting and just an all-around good time. As always, I met a lot of people. There are a lot of fans that were really happy to see me. A lot of them want to see you, Alec. You got to get out to one of these soon.
I was with my mother down south where it was warm and very rainy.
Yeah, I tried to drag Alec, y'all. I really did, but couldn't be helped. No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, so YCS Columbus was fun. I was playing with my Radiant Typhoon deck, not exactly by choice. I've been playing that deck for a while, but a ban list recently happened and kind of hit it a little bit. But I didn't have the time or the resources to get or learn anything else before this event, so I went with it anyway. Didn't go super well. But I did get picked as a bounty duelist for the first time. So what that meant was that I got to wear this cool little badge that said bounty duelist. And every time I won a round or somebody won a round against me, the winner would get packs. And
that's fire.
So that was really cool that they picked me for that. They apparently said something when they announced like my name. You know, they announced the names of all the bounty duelists, and they said something about like apparently the head judger was over it. They said I was their second favorite APS member. They didn't say who their first was. I don't know.
Probably Larry.
Yeah, it could be anyone. But so that was cool and fun. I played in a lot of public events. I tried to buy one of the cool deck boxes from Gatherer's Tavern. It did not work because I have a Discover card, so apparently their machine didn't take that.
That's crazy that you walk around with a Discover card in your pocket and you think you're going to be safe.
Yeah, I know. Crazy of me to believe that.
Insane.
Also, yeah, you know, I chatted with people. I have decided that I want to try to win a giant card through public events. That seems like that'd be fun and cool.
I mean, are you gonna be able to do that with Radiant Typhoon?
I'll have to pick something new. It'll be some different deck. Right now, I am trying to decide what deck I want to play next. It might be Dooms. It might be Fairy Tale. I played against that Fairy Tale Spellcaster Soup deck a couple of times over the weekend, and it was really crazy.
I will not play with you if you use that deck.
Yeah, there's just a lot. Jesse Cotton won the event itself. Congrats to him.
God.
Yeah, big surprise. Well, I mean, I guess he played with Draco Tail Branded, which is a deck that a lot of people thought had also gotten hit on the ban list. But unlike me, Jesse Cotton knows what he's doing.
He's also kind of like the Draco Tail guy.
Yeah, so he was able to win in a really exciting final against who's the guy's name? Lucas Sacco, I think, who's playing just like a pure branded deck, and that's also another really popular thing right now. Cool Tune is another really popular deck right now. It was just a really intense meta game and an intense event. Yeah. I think that my biggest takeaway overall from the event was two things. The first was that I really enjoyed speaking with just like people, like I kind of had like some impromptu podcasts almost. Like,
Not surprised.
yeah, you know how we are. We like to talk with anyone.
We'll be sending you guys cease and desist in the mail, just letting you know.
Yeah, that's right. I was chatting with some people about like all kinds of just Yu-Gi-Oh game things, player culture stuff, product things. And shout out to the people that I spoke to that I met. I think that they'll know who they are if they listen to this podcast.
It'd be crazy if they lied about listening to the podcast.
Yeah,
they just wanted to be cool for a moment.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, like there were some really like honest, thoughtful people, and that was fun. Somebody taught me how to play the Naruto TCG. Did not expect that.
I never thought you would learn the Naruto TCG before I did.
Yeah, and that's sort of actually a good segue into my second big takeaway, which is that I was reminded, as I often am, that like these YCS events truly are kind of a miracle of production. Like when you really think about it, because you can just go and like walk into a YCS for free. Mm-hmm. It costs $0 to just walk into the venue and show up and like sit at a table and just trade. Sit at a table and just play a pickup game of. People were doing pickup games of Speed Duel, pickup games of Draft. Like at some YCSs you'll even see people with like Dungeon Dice monsters that they'll just bring, and the main event is only $25. Which is crazy.
It's something I kind of had to make my peace with kind of quickly because I got into playing these Bandai TCGs as well. I didn't realize how good we had it in the Yu-Gi-Oh space when it came to our organized play. Like, I know YCSs aren't relaxed, but my God, do they feel relaxed compared to like Bandai style events where you
have to register like ahead of time.
Well ahead of time.
And like same with like these Pokemon events that are like $70 or something to get into like a regional. I mean, I know
they don't necessarily even want you there if you're not competing in the event.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of a miracle of production because I know that these YCS events are loss leaders for Konami, right? It's one big advertisement to play the game because they're having to rent out this entire convention center and fly in all of the like the marquees and the prize wall stuff and all of that. They've got these judges who are working the whole thing, and all for people to be able to walk in and technically not pay a penny, right? Like you can just show up and trade. But
that I think that's important to the culture of the YCS. If only one person's competing, they can still make a fair argument for the rest of their friend group to come to the YCS anyway. Right?
Because there's something to do.
There's something to do. You do not have to pay entry to walk into the venue.
Right. So yeah, I think that YCSs are kind of a bit of a miracle, and we should be grateful for them. One other thing too is this is the first event that had like a Genesis event going on at the same time.
Right.
And there was a little bit of controversy with that because I know that on the live stream, apparently, they were alternating Genesis and the main event each round. Mm-hmm. So on the stream, and so some people didn't really like that. They felt like, well, Genesis is getting in the way. Like, why are you interrupting my
It reminds me a little bit of what
matches?
Happened during the Invitational when they had Rush Duel on and like Duel Links, and they're like, get back to Master Duel. Nobody wants to see this garbage.
Well, so the solution that they are, I think, going to be doing moving forward is that the Genesis main event will be on Friday, and then the advanced tournament will be on Saturday, which should mean that from a viewing perspective, if you don't want to watch Genesis, I guess you just don't have to, right? The finals for both will still be on Sunday, but you can just tune out and not watch the Friday thing. That'll be the day zero stream. Mm-hmm. But also as a player, it means that if you did want to play in both, you have the ability to. Because here,
True.
You would have had to pick because they were both happening on the same Saturday, and the only difference was that the Genesis tournament was just like 30 minutes offset from the advanced format one. I think it got about 170 people.
Damn.
But, which, like, I don't know if that's a good or a bad number. I suppose that's, I mean, compared to the main event, which got almost 1,600 or something.
170 for what's equivalent to YCS level prizing.
Yeah.
It's kind of a steal.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, it's a tenth of the size in terms of entrance, but, like, they are still doing the same, like, day 2 packs, and you still win, like, prize cards or whatever. So, like, they are trying to make it legitimate. And I think that even if, so there could have been maybe more people in this if it had been like the Friday, Saturday split thing, because you had to kind of make a choice this time around. But also, just showing people that like Genesis has like a serious component to it, that, you know, you can aspire to be a really good Genesis player. Pretty cool.
No, I do worry, because given that 170 some odd people, you know, that's not a lot for a YCS.
Yeah.
And moving them to Friday, I feel like is going to further complicate getting people to sign up.
That is true, because like Friday is sort of like more of a, like people might be kind of like working.
In a lot of situations, you have to specifically take that Friday off from work.
Well, actually, you have to probably take that Thursday off. Because for a lot of people, it's possible whether you're flying or driving to get to a YCS basically on Friday morning. Because you have to check in on Friday. So you could still be like, okay, I'm off of work on Friday, and I will wake up at like 6 or something, or 5 in the morning, and like drive the however many hour trip, and still be able to just do the event. But technically, if you were trying to do Genesis, then the Genesis tournament would start at 10 a.m. on Friday, which would mean that you really had to come to the event on Thursday.
2 days off from work. And if you work a very typical 9-to-5 style job, that is a difficult pill to swallow.
That said, there's just not much choice. I mean, it's either going to be
I don't understand.
On Friday, or it's going to be on Saturday. So.
Like, I guess we're experimenting here and they're trying to figure things out. So I'm not going to like lay some harsh judgment as if this is the new permanent thing. My prediction is this will not help Genesis at all. I feel like if somebody is preparing to play in an advanced format YCS, they're not going to play Genesis the day before. It
seems like it would be a bit of an ask.
Yeah, it just, you have to be so on it.
However, yeah, that's true. That'd be like, because keeping up entirely with 2 formats is a lot to ask.
Yeah, like yesterday I was playing a format that didn't have like link monsters or even an extra monster zone, and then today it's balls to the wall full Yu-Gi-Oh.
Which, speaking of that, Genesis did have it was won by a Red Dragon Archfiend deck, Stanley Wong.
Fire.
But also like the top cut had like Radiant Typhoon. I see Voiceless Voice in top 4.
Yep.
Mimighoul, Dooms, Kueltoon, Radiant Typhoon, GMX. A GMX deck got top 16.
Yep.
Like, that's crazy. Art Mage. I see a Hero deck. I see a Monarch deck. I see a Clown Crew. So there's like a Dark Lord deck in top 32. Predaplant. Like, it's very diverse.
In Genesis, anybody can top. Like, there's so many different decks that, like, you could argue that there's probably like, 5-6 decks that might be considered truly like
kind of your top tier in advanced format, decks. Right?
But like tier 2 for Genesis is like 1,000 decks. Like it's
really
there's a lot
open.
of relevant things you can play.
It is wide open. So yeah, and I guess shout out to one of our friends, Nick Hamilton. He knows who he is. He housed me for the event, so
that's dope.
Very awesome. I did not complain one
Thank
bit
you
about
for
that.
Housing our lost Paul. He was going to be on the streets otherwise.
Yeah, scrambling to find somewhere to sleep under a bridge for the YCS. All in all, YCS Columbus was very fun. It was a good time. I will be continuing my trek through the regionals. I've got one this weekend that I might be going to. And eventually, I will be playing at Nats as well. And then we'll see how I feel about all of this after that.
What are you going to play in the regional?
Don't know. I'm going to try to figure it out.
You're gonna. I mean, you have okay.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. And even before Nats comes out, actually, Chaos Origins releases before Nationals.
Yep.
So like the Lightning Blitz crew, whatever they were, that deck, the Thunder crew.
I like those guys. They have cool artwork.
Yeah, the BLS deck. You know, I don't know if that's going to be like winning the YCS, but you know,
It might win in Genesis.
who knows? Yeah, who knows? So there will be plenty out. Okay, that's YCS Columbus. Spent a lot of time talking about that. Now we're going to talk about another huge elephant in the room of an announcement, which is Magnificent Monsters.
Magnificent Monsters.
So this got revealed basically last week, and you know, last week we had our episode with Larry, so we weren't talking about this, but Magnificent Monsters is like the hot set that is bringing all of the new overframe cards, or extended art cards, I guess is what they're maybe calling them. I don't know. Either way, that's like, you know, the Dark Magician, the Pharaoh Servant, the Dark Magical Curtain, and, you know, all those like extended art cards. It was revealed in a video by DZeef, and it's also got the Grandmaster Rares, which are, you know, your serialized cards. So
serial cards. That should be an archetype, a serial archetype.
Yeah, they should actually put cards in cereal.
I'd like that.
People would rob Walmart blind. They just go and just open boxes of cereal.
Dig their hands all in there.
Yeah, so here's the news everybody's been waiting for. It's all coming your way in Magnificent Monsters. 18 brand new reimagined anime cards. We've taken 18 of the most famous cards used by the first 6 Yu-Gi-Oh! Series heroes, and we reimagined them with new abilities.
We skipped the 7th, I guess.
Yeah, 7 doesn't exist because we don't have Rush Duel, So, you know, they kind of list out the Dark Magician cards, the favorite heroes, Shining Flare Wingman, and Stardust Dragon Victim Sanctuary. Such a dark-sounding name.
It's a crazy name.
Among others.
And just to be clear, it's not a dark card in the slightest.
Yeah. Because it's supposed to be a sanctuary for people victims, who've been victimized. So.
Just victims, that's
a strong word.
It's a strong word.
So here's what they say in the blurb. And maybe you can read about the Grandmaster cards. Because my voice is actually going out, or is recovering after this YCS.
You were yelling at your opponents too much?
Yeah, I was screaming at them. You'll be able to get a standard, fully playable, ultra-rare copy of any of these 18 cards to put in your deck. But if you want to aim higher, all 18 cards will have extended art versions, as seen in Rarity Collection 5 and Battles of Legend and Glorious Gallery, available in both ultra-rare and Starlight Rare versions. Bonus! Since this set releases after Chaos Origins, these Starlight Rares will be the new versions with rainbow card borders instead of the previously seen gray. Plus enhanced colors and visibility. They did talk about that improvement that they're making to Starlights.
New serial numbered Grandmaster Rares. Grandmaster Rares are a dazzling brand new rarity with hieroglyphic borders that will knock your socks off.
I want my socks knocked off.
Only the 18 reimagined cards mentioned above will have Grandmaster Rare versions. Grandmaster Rares are serial numbered from 1 through 100. Each of the 18 reimagined cards will get 100 Grandmaster Rares. That's 1,800 Grandmaster Rares printed, 100 for each of the 18 cards. A little redundant, but I get it. There will be 100 per card for the Americas. That's North, Central, South combined, and another 100 per card for all markets distributed from Europe. That's Europe, Oceania, Africa, the Middle East. The latter will have an E at the end of the serial number. So, you know, you might have a 1 that is the Americas version. You might have a 1E for the European version.
Right.
All Grandmaster Rares will be in English, but can be found in French, German, Italian, Portuguese, Spanish packs, as well as English packs. With so few cards spread across the entire print run, Grandmaster Rares will be extremely rare. Be careful when opening your packs.
Yeah, I think they're referring to that Dark Magician one. You know, that video of the guy who cut
the Dark Magician.
So this is exciting. How are we feeling about, you know, these serialized cards?
I feel nothing.
You feel nothing?
Yeah, I mean, serialized cards don't really mean anything to me. Not because if you get one, the card is now too expensive to play. Well, joke's on you, losers. I'll play it anyway. But you know what I mean. Like, I don't like a new rare card doesn't mean as much to me as an old rare card.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. So I'm not really excited for Serialized. I'm more interested in what that might mean for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Like collectible market. Yeah. Like, is this going to have an adverse effect on our ability to get and play cards?
And I think it will because of something that we're going to get to here in a bit. But first, I'll just finish off by saying there's 20 additional new or variant art cards. So Orichalco Sword of Sealing, Rainbow Bridge Bifrost. There's also variant art versions of IP Masquerena, SP Little Knight. The new WP Fancy Ball comes out here. There are the chibi art variations of Abawaku, Divine Arsenal Zeus, Dark Ruler No More, Sky Striker Engage. 6 brand new boss monsters for each summoning type. I actually forgot about these. I remember them. They vaguely announced them, like Crystron, Hockey Firebrax, Prism, Galaxy Eyes, Antimatter Dragon, Nightmare Eyes Restrict. There are some foil upgrades for cards that were previously only available as commons or rares in recent archetypes like Radiant Typhoon, Archmage, Dooms, and GMX, plus some goodies from Toon Cyber Dragon to Sixth Sense. And they have this whole breakdown of how each pack works. So you get 3 packs per box. Keep that in mind, by the way.
Yep, 3 packs.
You get 3 packs per box, and each pack's going to have 5 cards. And so each slot in your pack kind of has a pool of cards from it. So the first card will come from pool A, which could be that's the extended art pool. It's mostly new versions of famous anime and manga cards. They'll usually be the standard art, but you could pull an extended art, and it would be from this pool. So that could be the standard art in Ultra Rare, the extended art in Ultra Rare, or Starlight Rare. So there are 20 cards in that pool. That's interesting because there's only 18 cards that were revealed, like as the anime things. There's 2 more that I guess we don't entirely know about.
That is weird. I wonder what that's about.
Yeah, Pool B is new cards and the variant art pool. So 8 brand new cards plus 12 brand new variant arts, like IP Masquerena, SP, and then 10 Chibi cards. Those are always going to be Ultra. Pool C is the foil up pool. So that's Ultra Rare upgrades for otherwise common or rare cards. Pool D is just the first half of the reprint pool, and Pool E is the second half of the reprint pool. So basically,
the packs are mapped.
The packs are mapped. You also get a secret rare kind of bonus pack, like promo pack inside. So basically, that's got a pool as well. Pool 1 is one of the 6 brand new boss monsters for each summoning type. Pool 2 is one of 10 variant art cards with chibi art from Pool B above, but this time as a secret rare or a Starlight Rare. And then Pool 3 is the remaining 10 cards from Pool B, also as a secret rare or a Starlight Rare. So they've got this whole thing like mapped out.
Right.
They're very specific about how this is going to be all done. And that finally brings me to the part about this whole product that has been a little controversial. And that's the price of it.
MSRP is $34.99.
Yeah, $34.99 for 3 packs.
15 cards.
3 5-card packs. And a little promo pack.
And with 3 more cards,
Yeah.
so 18 cards in total.
Yeah, now this is replacing the tins from previous years. The slot where like the tins would release. We are not getting mega tins at all in any capacity. The tins kind of were set up like this before. They had 3 packs in them. They'd stopped doing promos. Now, granted, their packs were 18 cards.
Yeah, I was saying
each.
there was much more cards in those packs.
So you got a lot more, like, kind of guaranteed foil stuff. But this is still a very special set. It's got Starlight, some extended arts, and potentially Grandmaster Rares. However, this is really expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, tins used to be like $20. Last year they were like $23 or $25 if you got the one without the metal tin. But this is a huge price hike to $35, and I really worry about how easy this will be for like kind of the average person to get and what they'll be getting for their money. I don't love this price. What do you think, though?
I mean, I don't think there's much to worry about it, The scalper is going to buy them up anyway, so we might not have a pricing decision or cost decision to make here. Like, if this is printed at the same rate that they typically do those limited sets, I'm worried that before I can even worry about affording it,
You have to worry about finding it.
yeah, I think supply might be a problem here.
Yeah, I'm really worried about
Especially
that too.
since, because like if you're like let's say you're like a scalper, like serialized chaser, right?
Yeah.
There, you likely have done the math on how much you need to buy to have a good chance of hitting a serialized card that you can then make all your money back off of, allegedly.
Yeah.
If there's only like
They've said that this set is going to be subject to allocation. I saw Jeff Jones was talking about this on Twitter. Basically, what it means is that shops are just going to be subject to, like, you can put in an order, but there's just no guarantee that you'll get all of what your shop, like, ordered from their distributor. So it's going to be a pretty limited run. Like, maybe your shop will get a lot, probably won't get as much as they want.
You have 3 shots at hitting a serialized card, and the percent chance on it must be incredibly low. I worry that this will embolden the scalper types to buy even more of this product because of how few shots you have per box.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll buy even more than what we might have expected going into this, trying to chase serialized cards. And if that's the case, this might be like one of the like hardest sets to get in your hand
in history
that we've ever seen.
I think Konami priced it with that in mind. I think that they know that there's going to be scalpers after this, and so this is kind of their way of not so much warding them off, but more like, well, we know you guys are gonna buy this.
Yeah, they're trying to get theirs.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure that we get ours. I worry though. I mean, like just about what it means for players, because it'll be hard for like a casual person who just wants to open this just for fun.
It does sound
to
like
get one. Like, I don't think that this is gonna be something that you can just, you know, meander into your Walmart or Target and expect to buy. Certainly not your card shop, because if it's your card shop, everyone will know about it. So like that's going to already be a mess. So yeah, it's a little worrying.
I mean, I think the best you can hope is your card shop to like establish some like purchasing limits. Like, just don't just sell to whoever's trying to buy all the product.
Yeah,
I know that's asking more of like card shop owners than they'd
what they
like
would
to be. But like,
I mean, I think that so many people are going to
if you care about your
this.
Yu-Gi-Oh community, I feel like you need to step it up here. This is going to be an important one.
Yeah, I think so many people are going to want this, that you're not actually missing out on total sales. They're all going to sell out.
Yeah.
I know for some shop owners, they're just kind of more like, well, if I can sell it all out in one transaction, because, you know, what difference does it make to them?
Yeah, it's important to remember the community building side of things. The problem is not a lot of shops. There's shops that care about their Yu-Gi-Oh community, and there's shops that don't.
Yeah. yeah, it's a mess. I do sort of worry, too, about what this might mean for even the price of... Because typically what happens with, like, say, Pokemon is that in chasing the Umbreon or the Dragonite or the Charizard or whatever, the scalpers buy so much sealed stuff and it all gets, like, torn open that actually cards themselves, like playable cards, are worth nothing because there's so many just loose, end up on TCG Player and eBay, and they're worth pennies sometimes. In this case, it's a little bit more complicated because you're actually not getting many per pack here.
Yeah, that's kind of the worrisome part. And also, you know, the Pokemon Company prints a stupid amount of those products.
Yeah.
Where, like, their, like, supply tends to hold up. It's just, like, it just gets a high aftermarket value on it regardless. But... I just don't know how many of these cards will be in the wild.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like this is going to be quite as plentiful. And so it's sort of like, well, will it actually be easy to even find kind of the stray, non-desired cards in this set? Like, I think that even the sort of throwaway ultras will still probably be like worth like $2-3 each. Because effectively, you're getting a total of 18 cards in here, right? For $35. Which means that you are paying nearly like just under $2 per individual card. So on TCG Player, even a random ass like chibi card, you know,
Dark Roller
No More, it might still just be like $2.
I think it might even be.
Probably a little more, just given the general.
My like doomer side is saying like that it might be worse than what even you're saying. That given the practices that we see in a lot of these other TCGs from these scalpy types, what happens when, you know, they're pulling, they don't hit their serialized, so they decide they're gonna make their money back by like slabbing up the few hits in their boxes.
Yeah, or even they just are like, well, I'm not pulling my serialized, so like, how can I best monetize the rest of what I've pulled, which would mean to say that even the throwaway ultra, maybe I can just try to charge like $4 instead of $3. You know, like,
I mean, the scalpers could still, because of, if assuming this does have a limited release, like sets of this type, the scalpers could have a lot of control over the supply of these cards, which can put them in a price setting position, which really could suck for regular Yu-Gi-Oh players.
It's rough because I don't even think that, you know, like, I want to get back to this whole the Grandmaster aspect. I think that the Grandmaster cards are still a really cool thing. It's the first time Yu-Gi-Oh is experimenting with serialized cards, and for the people that pull them, that could be a really fun experience. Like, if you're, you know, a scalpy person on a kick stream and you're like tearing these open, I'm not really celebrating you
Paul
getting
does
one.
not have a high opinion of
But I think that if like random Joe who truly doesn't even maybe know about serialized cards, just happens to pick this up at Walmart after work one day.
That's crazy if they found one.
Yeah, and they got lucky enough to find one, and they pull like a serial, you know, Dark Magician. That's like a huge moment for them. Like, it's a very memorable experience. So, something else.
Is it though? I remember like one kid who pulled the thousand dragon or 10,000 dragon as casual as humanly possible, then proceed to try and put it in his pocket.
No, there will be a few that go that way. That's funny because, you know, there's going to be people who try to like kind of account for all 100 of each of these cards.
Right.
Like, you know, who pulled it, where was it? And so much of our world today is recorded on phones and posted on social media.
It's all content.
There will be like a chase for the serialized, you know, like just the whereabouts of all the copies. But there will be somebody like that kid we met one time.
They don't know any of this.
They don't know any of this. They're going to pull one, shove it in their pocket.
And sit on it.
Sit on it, accidentally wash it, whatever. Like, it's so.
What do you think will be the most expensive number? Because you know how like ones are really expensive in serials.
So I think in almost every situation, one's going to be the most expensive.
Makes sense.
Like 001. I think the second will probably be something like 25 or maybe just like 100. Right.
100 makes sense.
Probably 1, then 100, then probably like 25. Kind of feels like it could be a big one. 69. You know, that kind of for memes. 6, 7. Like ones like that will kind of have
that makes sense.
I think for certain monsters there will be numbers associated with them. Like if you get a number 39 of number 39 Utopia's thing, like
that's crazy.
You know, that would be number 39 Utopia, Emissary of Light. Like if you get that as a number 39, that could be kind of cool. So I could see like stuff like that. Now, one other thing about this too is I saw Ruxin made a video about the price of this product. He wasn't really too big a fan of just it being so expensive, but he thought that what would be cool is if Konami was to do an unlimited run of this. So in their initial run, that's where the Grandmaster Rares are in it and stuff.
Right.
And he's like, maybe they could do like an unlimited run afterwards that's easier for people to get, and there just isn't a chance of getting a Grandmaster, because for 99% of people they don't care, right? Like,
I would like that. I don't think they're doing that, but I would.
Yeah,
like
I don't think they'll ever really do that. And he was saying like if they did that, it'd be cool to do the unlimiteds at a bit of a discount, like, you know, maybe $25 instead of $35. And like Konami has done unlimited runs of certain things, even in somewhat recent memory. So like, there's a world where it could happen, but who knows? One last note about this is that we actually only got half of these serialized cards. These are all the cards from Limit Over Collection, the Heroes. We don't have any word on
the rivals.
On the rivals. And, you know, you were asking what numbers will be kind of worth the most. I think for the rivals one, whenever that gets released, the Blue Eyes number 4, I think will be a high price one. Because remember, Kaiba ripped the 4th Blue Eyes.
There was never a 4th.
So like there could be kind of a whole, I could see. Or even just having like Blue Eyes 1, 2, and 3 would be a huge deal.
Who's flexing all three?
Sam will do it. I don't
think Sam got it like that.
I think Sam will try.
I don't think he's got it like that.
Yeah, I think there's someone who's crazy enough to.
Like,
there's some rich benefactor somewhere.
Like somebody gets a sugar daddy specifically for this reason.
Now imagine if the person who gets number 4 rips it forever.
The content
just to flex.
So crazy.
So we don't know. I mean, I guess that the Rivals cards will be in a similar product to this. I don't know if that'll be like this year, like maybe in November or something.
Or maybe next year's
maybe
like
next spring.
Megaton equivalent.
I think it would suck to have to wait a whole year for that.
I do agree.
So, but it's Konami. There's just no telling what they'll do. All in all, very exciting. I don't know if I'll even get to open any of this myself.
Gonna have to fight for it. You're gonna camp out at Walmart and like punch some children.
Maybe I'll win a case of it. That's how I'll get some facts.
Yeah,
I haven't opened.
You gotta continue your case winning streak.
Did you know I have not even opened any Rarity Collection 5? I've never been able to find it.
You told me that multiple times.
Yeah, I want to. I want to open some, and I can't find it anywhere. So if I can't even find that.
I've never. At least you can't find it. I've never seen it. I just don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's pretty hard to find. Okay, so that's Magnificent Monsters. Now there was also another set that was just recently revealed by some content creators, and that is Battles of Legend, Glorious Gallery.
I'm not gonna lie. I'd forgotten that Glorious Gallery was going to be a thing until the reveals came out.
I did too. It's this year's Battles of Legend, and it feels like. Would you say it's just because there's been so much other just so many other hype things, Rarity 5, Overframes, and Magnificent just Chaos Origins has Yu-Gi on the front now, so it just feels like
there's a lot. And I remember we talked about Battles of Legend Glorious Gallery before, and the
when did this come out?
Perspective archetypes I didn't find very pleasing, so I think I just kind of forgot about it.
Right. Yeah, I was I'm sitting here trying to even find out when this. I mean, I think it just comes out in a couple of weeks, I guess. Okay, yeah, June 5th or June 3rd, I guess, at OTS shops.
That's in a week.
So basically, it's got the remainder of some of the overframe reprint cards like Dominus Impulse and Borland Dragon, Chaos Angel kind of being one of the big ones, Dragon Master Magia. Right. There's more chibi cards. There's more foil upgrades.
I do like the chibis in this one. Chibi Exodia is not cute, but Chibi Vampire Lord is a must-have.
Yeah, there are new cards for Shaddolls. New cards for, I think, Constellars. Yeah,
it's all those what are they hidden? Not hidden.
The dual terminal,
hidden arsenal, those archetypes, which is actually a cool callback to when I was kind of first getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh for my long haul. Shaddolls, Teller Knights, well, not Dragoony, but the rest of them, they all played a pretty big role when I was getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh. So it is nice to see them return. I can't get excited for it. Is it weird that despite the fact that these archetypes were a part of the biggest stretch of Yu-Gi-Oh I've had in my entire life, they're not doing it for me anymore?
So I have actually an interesting thought on that. And it's that, and this is not to discredit these archetypes or their designs, but they actually kind of came at an unfortunate time before I think Yu-Gi-Oh had begun to craft an identity for itself. So recently, and I actually talked with some people at the YCS about this, recently Yu-Gi-Oh's kind of become a little bit...
And all y'all owe me money. Y'all can't be podding with Paul without me. That's not even...
You're going to get your ass in that event.
That's not even remotely acceptable. I got cease and desist for every one of y'all.
So I think what's happened basically with archetypes like Shaddolls, Teller Knights, and some of the other dual terminal archetypes is they came out before Yu-Gi-Oh started to take a lot of its lore stories very seriously. Mm-hmm. We're talking kind of World Legacy and then Snake Eyes and even currently Medius the Pure and all that. But also they were after the iconic kind of childhood legacy stuff. Heroes, dark, DM era stuff, Ancient Gears, Cyber Dragons.
Middle child syndrome.
Yes, they kind of have the middle child syndrome of they're cool, but I don't think anybody would say that the Cleefort story or the Shaddol story is their very favorite archetype, visually speaking. I mean, I know there's someone out there who is, but that's kind of why.
They're molding and they are typing already.
They're furious and they're angry at me and I deserve death at the stake. No, but I mean, that's kind of how it feels for me. Now, that isn't to say that this support isn't going to be good. I know that Dragoonity is also in here. That's the one I forgot. And some of the Dragoonity support apparently is pretty good. The Shaddol stuff's pretty good. These will be rogue strategies that are capable of, you know what I mean? Like they can
they
do
can
something.
play.
But yeah, it doesn't help that Battles of Legend, much like the tins, has kind of been, on the decline so much for the last few years. A lot of the excitement, I think, has been sapped out of it in favor of rarity collections and stuff.
I think we've messed up the theming around some of these products, especially Battle of Legends, which was always, or at least it was. I think, in my opinion, at least, it was kind of the anime import set.
Yes.
Where typically we just got a lot like manga cards and then like new versions of like anime cards that hadn't come to the TCG yet. And Battle Legends was good for that. So if you were an anime fan, you always had something to look forward to in Battles of Legend. But I think this is, I don't know if it's the first one. It feels like it's the first one where it's not really doing the anime thing.
Yeah, well, so it's not the first one that isn't, but it is continuing the trend of like kind of just being some dual terminal archetypes getting imported support, throwing in some chibis. The reprints have now had to be distributed among more products these days, because it used to be Battles of Legend kind of was one of the big reprint sets, right? Like it had reprints of more staples and stuff, and then the tins had the reprints of core set cards. But now, like between all these like rarity collections and Maze of Thing and blah blah, it's no one reprint set really gets to have it all, and it sort of hurts Battles of Legend a little bit most because like I think it's just found itself, I'm not saying no man's land, but
No, I guess now I'm looking at the cards. I think.
Now there's some cool stuff. I
think instead of being more anime focused, I think these are more like manga cards.
There's a lot of manga import stuff.
Yeah,
like manga stuff.
Because I know Mass Hero fountains from the manga. I think the same is true for like Poisonous Viper and these junk cards as well.
Yeah, I forgot there were junk cards in that. Man, go figure. We're trying to do a Yusei duel, and now they release more junk.
It's kind of junk. I see what you did there, but I do find it funny that this set, because I don't know if it's because of the way we've been releasing cards, importing cards now in the game now, but there are just like these random like one-off like representatives for like entire archetypes in here.
Yeah, that always, and I know like I complain about that a lot. And I think that maybe I go too hard on that because like technically it's not a bad thing that you can just get a random the hidden city in this, like I guess that's not a bad thing, or like
it just feels a little strange.
For hire. It's like the one for hire card I think that's like even in here. It's just but I guess you can get it as a ultra or secret now. Like it's the fairy tale cards get reprints in here. Some
Which
of the
I guess
old
those
existing
did
ones,
need
those
them.
need it because
now we have a fairy tale archetype, so let's go. We gotta go get those.
There's new things. I know there's something else that I kind of wanted to pick up in here. Let me see if I can.
Dragon Master Magia. Yeah, me too.
It would be nice to have one of those, actually.
Not nice, necessary.
Exo-Sister
Who
Betrayal
plays
is
more
in
with
here.
anime decks than us?
That's true. I saw Exo-Sister Betrayal, and I'm like sitting here confused about this because Betrayal it came out this year in Burst Protocol, and it was like a super, and it's just in here now,
And it's back.
and it's I guess an ultra.
We needed it.
I don't. It's just. I'm not. It's weird. It's like I'm not complaining. It just feels like bizarre.
I mean, look at Draco Tail Sting is in there, and I feel like that's really soon.
Well, I think it's the last Draco Tail trap to get foil treatment. Now there is one small like controversy that I will use as a means of complaining a bit more about a bigger issue. Magistus Vera, which is it's like a manga card or something that worked with the Magistus strategy. And a lot of people expected that to be imported in here. It is not in here. Now, the other fairy tale cards are in here, and there's other Magistus stuff in here, but specifically Magistus Vera is not in here. And it brings me back to my core issue that I complain about a lot, which is it would really be great if... I thought you were going to fill in the blank for me.
We had another format.
No, if the TCG and the OCG could just finally merge already.
Oh, okay, I feel like we're just forever finding more things to like ask of Konami.
Yeah, I know. It's and like I guess I think that this would just kind of be like that last little thing to tie all of this Yu-Gi-Oh excitement that's
Is
been
it
happening.
the last thing?
No, but like, you know what I mean though, right? Like, it feels like such a core issue because people were excited about the Magistus cards.
Yes.
And there's like one manga one, and it's not imported in here, and we just have no indication of when it will ever be imported then. Will it be in Magnificent Monsters? Will it be in some other random set? And will it be like an important Chaos Origin? Like, we don't get any indication of that. And it's just one more of these examples of like, it would be really great if the two formats of the game could just kind of be together. Like the same products, the same release cycles, the same everything kind of.
So this card, I thought you were talking about this card as a reprint. This card has never had an English print?
It has never had an English print.
Oh, so it's a full-on import we're waiting on.
Yeah. And we just don't know when we're going to get it.
That's interesting because Battle Legends would have been a great place.
Yeah, you would think that'd kind of be where that sort of stuff
place.
ends up.
When did it come out in the OCG? Is it maybe too recent?
It was like last year.
Oh, maybe
So,
not.
I don't know. The overframes look cool though. I would like to get an overframe Dominus Impulse. That looks very cool.
Off this list,
Ooh, Red Nova Dragon.
all I want is the Dragon Master Magia. That's it.
The Red Nova Dragon looks cool. Either way, that's Battles of Legend Glorious Gallery. You can get it in a couple weeks if you want.
This one will likely be on your shelves.
Yeah, you'll see a few of these sitting around. You know, like it's for somebody. It might be more of a buy your single sets, but who's to say? All right, that's all I think of the Yu-Gi-Oh like major product news. I might be forgetting something small, but generally speaking,
But we're big.
that's the major announcements. Cool. So now we have other card game news.
Yeah, we got a few, huh?
Yeah, quite a bit of card game news. Let's see what to talk about next. I'm thinking maybe a little Pokemon, maybe some Magic. What are you
we
feeling?
typically go like in the order of like Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, and then like a Pokemon theft story.
Yeah, there is all of those things. So let's start with Magic. Magic the Gathering's lead designer confirms half of all future sets will be Universes Beyond.
I feel like I could hear the like snapping of like minds when you read out that title.
Mark Rosewater says that 2026 was an outlier, but Universes Beyond is the new normal for MTG.
Woo!
Answering questions on his blog on Monday, that's just of this week, Magic the Gathering's lead designer Mark Rosewater says that going forward, Universes Beyond will have equal billing with in-universe MTG stories, and half of all sets released each year will be Universes Beyond. In 2026, with its 4 UB versus 3 in-universe set split, was not the new normal. Future years are going to be 3 and 3.
Okay, I see. Because yeah, the 2026 has 4 Universes Beyond sets versus the 3 in universes. So technically, this is a good thing compared to this year.
That's a decrease, I guess, statistically. Yeah. Last week, Hasbro published its financial results for the first quarter of 2026. I remember seeing some people talk about that, by the way, on Twitter. And, like, Magic really is about all Hasbro's got. Like,
yeah, man. Hasbro
it is.
It's not a great company.
Funneling a lot of their money. And CEO Chris Cox discussed
Did you really just laugh at that man's name?
Factors.
Oh, I see now.
That's what discusses the factors affecting the balance of in-universe versus Universes Beyond sets. Here's what he's got to say, Alec. Really, it's kind of a combination of the creative inspiration of the Magic team, feedback from the audience, what's available when, and just kind of the vagaries of release cadences, says Cox. They spell that differently this time. They spelled it in two different. They spelled Cox 2 different ways. They tried to trip me up and they did it. Okay. well, shame on you, Wargamer.
Well, this spelling makes more sense than the first one.
He adds that if there's a lot of excitement for the upcoming Magic the Gathering animated series on Netflix, the needle might swing more in the direction of in-universe Magic. I've got something to say about that, but I'm going to come back to it in a second. The financial results, including record-breaking sales for the two in-universe MTG sets, Lorwyn Eclipse and Secrets of Strixhaven. But CEO Chris Cox, see, this time they're going back and forth.
I am so confused.
Called Universes Beyond, quote, probably the most successful new player adoption initiative that we've ever done, and stated that in just one quarter, we've done the third highest year ever of backlist sales, powered no doubt by 2025's Final Fantasy set, the best-selling set of all time. Okay. What are we thinking?
No,
we're not huge Magic folks, but you are more so than I.
I own a collection of Magic cards that I have that are almost exclusively Universes Beyond. So clearly, I'm not a Universes Beyond hater, but I do acknowledge the hate that Universes Beyond gets from the Magic community, and I understand why. If we're being real here, if we're all being realists, this comes as no surprise. Universes Beyond, it sells quite well, and even when a Universes Beyond set is considered not as good, still sells pretty damn well. I think this article is a kind of a tiny ray of light for the anti-Universes Beyond crowd as well, just because they acknowledged how well non-Universes Beyond sets sold this past year. And, given what the last time we heard Mark Rosewater talk, it sounded like he'd moved on completely from in-universe and was all in on Universes Beyond.
Yeah. Mark Rosewater is an interesting individual. I
know him personally.
Yes. I was at his house for dinner last night. As somebody who I don't know that much about Magic, but I've kind of had to almost encounter it more, I guess, in this podcast and through, friends who play and stuff. And I swear, like, Mark Rosewater, for all of his accolades and design and stuff, it feels like this man just says a lot. Like, I just feel like I'm always hearing, like, we're doing this, and we're not doing this, and we're doing that, and we're not doing that. And that's not just him. I know that's also, like, other, Wizards and Hasbro representatives. But so often I will speak to people who have a deeper history in Magic, and they're always like, oh, they said that, like, the Universes Beyond things wouldn't be legal, like, in Modern or whatever, and then they became legal in Modern. And they said that this wouldn't affect whatever, but then it did affect whatever. Like, it does feel like there's a lot of inconsistency. So even though Wizards of the Coast is a more communicative company than, say, Konami is,
it doesn't mean they stick to their word.
Yeah, it doesn't actually mean that transparency is going to be consistent. Like, they might just say something and then change plan because Hasbro's like, well, listen, we got some quarterly earnings to hit. So, yeah. But that aside, it's interesting that Chris Cox talks about how if there's a lot of excitement around the upcoming Magic animated series on Netflix, then the needle might swing. That sounds cool on paper, but it does come across maybe this tiniest bit as like a bit of a
threat,
like a little bit of a hostage situation. Like,
you better watch this show.
Like, if you guys
better enjoy it.
If you Magic purists who hate this UB stuff don't watch this show, then you might get even less in universe stuff. Or like this is.
It's also reminds me of kind of creating a problem and then selling the solution.
Right.
We've lessened the amount of in-universe Magic content there is out there.
And
don't worry, guys. Don't worry, guys. We're making a TV series that you can sub to Netflix to watch to get your fix, and if you all do that, you can get even more. So
to get the same amount you maybe would have gotten already.
I guess it has to be less. The Universes Beyond isn't going anywhere. You still will get less than you usually get, but you've earned it now, and that's what's important.
Yeah, so, I guess a 50-50 split's what you guys are getting. I want to hear...
right now is what you're getting.
Yeah, it could change.
In a month or two, who knows?
Yeah, I honestly have a feeling that this 2026 like 4-3 ratio is probably really closer to what they would ideally want to do.
Now I have a kind of a long shot theory that while they're framing it as this is a win for like in-universe Magic Gathering, I think the truth of it might be a bit of a loss for Universes Beyond. there's a chance that the numbers they got from 4 Universes Beyond set, or the prospective numbers for having 4 Universes Beyond sets in a year are not looking as good as they thought they might. And then the numbers for in universe like performed better than they expected, and they're like, oh, maybe we should actually kind of wean ourselves off a little bit. Maybe 4 was too much. But I don't think they want to say specifically that Universes Beyond did not perform the way we wanted it to.
I don't think there's a world where they ever admit outright that anyone like failed. I think the closest you're going to get is, okay, we're going to kind of just even it out. Because I do know that like Spider-Man sounds like it didn't go great last year. I'm sure it sold fine, but like it wasn't as
it's hard to tell what sells well with Magic. I hear so much criticism, but I don't know but is it selling now?
That's the thing, and that's like an important, I guess, factor to keep in mind with all like card game discourses. It's very easy to kind of get like lost in your bubble, right? Like, you know, I know what I see on like Twitter and other places, but also, as I've said before many times in this podcast now, we're the nut jobs with these games, right? Like we are the people who we're wired in. We have our noses to the ground. Like we have a certain opinion on like our favorite games as longtime players of them. Whereas like, because the thing is, if you go on Magic Twitter, you know, most people are kind of like iffy on Universes Beyond at best. And at worst, they actively hate it.
But most of the people who buy Magic Beyond, Universes Beyond, are not on Twitter.
Yeah, most of the people buying it may not have a Twitter account, but they still go and they still buy and they're happy. So, yeah, I just thought that was kind of an interesting tidbit that Rosewater had to say about this. Okay, now let's talk about a couple of Pokemon stories. There's like 3 of them.
Trio?
Yeah. So one is a security measure against theft. One is a theft, and one is a report of basically like that the theft is still happening.
Wow.
So we'll start with that one.
Please tell. I really hope that the theft is in response, like happened after the new security measure.
So Pokemon TCG printed 10 billion cards in 2025 as overwhelming demand outpaced production capacity. This comes to us from PokeBeach.
Jesus.
Here's what they have to say. The Pokemon Company has released its latest figures report revealing 10 billion Pokemon cards were printed worldwide from March 2025 to March 2026. Except for 2024, this is the 3rd year in a row where the annual increase has been around 10 billion cards. This figure likely reflects the Pokemon TCG's current printing capacity, as the company has struggled to meet overwhelming demand since early 2025 when it stated it was printing at max capacity.
All right, I just don't like that sentence. This is the 3rd year in a row. Well, except for 2024, this is the 3rd year in a row. No, it's not the 3rd year in a row.
Yeah.
You can't say except and then say it's 3rd year in a row.
Yeah, that's not actually. Anyway, the point is, though, they have been printing more and more cards, and they are still not able to meet the insane demand that exists for these cards. Thoughts?
You know, maybe the key isn't printing more cards. Maybe, and this is crazy. This is controversial, Paul, but bear with me. All right, check it out. They should print less cards and remove all the alt arts.
Okay.
Like, I don't think people are going to be scalping for commons.
Do you know what I think would be interesting for Pokemon? And I don't know if this is a good idea. Maybe this is actually like a terrible one.
It can't be as good as mine.
Well, it's actually basically what yours is.
Oh.
I was just going to say they should just do collector boosters, like how Magic does. Like, do Pokemon collector boosters, which those are the sets that have all the pretty cards in them. And then there's just regular boosters that are for boring, plain Janes like me or you. So that way...
We are boring, plain James.
You know, we can get...
Wait, can I be a plain James?
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
That's
cool.
fair. I mean, like, maybe that could work. So that way it's like the scalpers, you know, you get your collector booster type thing, and you pay $50 a pack or something for it. And little Jimmy can ignore that because he just wants cards at all. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe the scalpers would still just buy up both, and this wouldn't solve anything. But I think there could be a world where like it helps with availability.
It just depends on, like, will people scalp if the cards aren't shiny?
And I would think no.
I assume not as well, but this is unprecedented. Maybe they're that crazy.
And that's the kind of the scary part is that I guess when you're Pokemon, you are the far and away market leader in this. Mm-hmm. So there's just no telling how people will respond to the things that you do, and like any small change will cause like these drastic ripples. And so last week Pokemon Japan announced it would require government ID to purchase certain TCG products. Now that's just from the Pokemon Center website, which was a move expected to deter scalping and restrict booster boxes to Japanese residents only, because apparently there were Westerners who were going on these Japanese sites with VPNs. And
yeah, that does make sense. That's crazy. That means you would need ID for like porn and Pokemon.
Some say those can be one and the same.
No one should say that. That should never
The sustained demand indicates the Pokemon TCG's popularity will continue for many years to come, especially as the brand works to onboard new fans and recapture old ones with sets like 30th Celebration. So yeah, all right. So that's kind of the report on that. Now here's the next thing. Pokemon card scalpers are so bad. This one's a different article that we're moving on to. Mm-hmm. Pokemon scalpers are so bad that stores are now cutting open packs at checkout. Yeah. So a Pokemon card shop in Japan has gone viral after introducing a drastic anti-scalper policy that sees booster packs physically cut open at checkout. The policy was spotted at Haruya 2's Omiya branch in Saitama, a Pokemon TCG specialty store located near Omiya Station. The store recently began selling Pokemon Mega Dream EX packs with the top corners cut off by staff before they are handed over to customers. They cut them at the top when sold so that you can't go and scalp the shit online right after you leave the store. Thoughts?
Yeah, keep doing that, Chief. I like that.
Yeah. A shame, but yeah, I mean,
I have no problem with that.
I think
in fact, I think Pokemon companies should go ahead and institute that as policy. Like, if you're going to push like Pokemon product, you have to snip the corners.
Yeah, the cut is made to the wrapper, not the cards, and fans buying packs to pull cards would have opened them anyway. And I do think that there's something to be said about this. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's something that could work at like a Walmart or a Target. Because
so you gotta tell the cashier, hey, I need you to cut this for me. As you hand them a box worth of Pokemon cards, you gotta cut all these.
But I could see like a local game store that's something that would be practically enforceable.
And that's better than what I was gonna assume. I was gonna say you just take a big knife and you just drive it through the stacks of cards, and then the knife will eventually stop, and then those cards, the ones that it stops, and those cards go undamaged, and the rest are damaged. And then no one wants to scalp those. You just stab the packs.
All right. Well, here's our final Pokemon one.
This is the theft. This is the theft.
Florida man.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Good start.
Oh, God. Is there an alligator involved?
Armed with chainsaw.
Oh, Jesus.
Accused of stealing $12,000 of Pokemon cards.
Why do they need a chainsaw?
I guess we're about to find out. Here, you want to read?
Sure. A Florida man has been arrested after $12,000 of Pokemon cards were stolen from a local store during a break-in that involved a battery-powered chainsaw. Clayton Warren, 33, has been charged with burglary and theft of goods totaling more than $10,000, following a somewhat bungled heist at Collection Realm, a trading card store in West Palm Beach. According to KSL, surveillance footage shows a man fitting Warren's appearance at the store just 2 days before the break-in. A mysterious figure then gains entry to the store overnight on May 21st, initially trying to smash a window with a rock before resorting to the small chainsaw. That's interesting that they had the chainsaw, but they tried a rock first. Anyway, Warren does not seem to have proven hard to find, as surveillance cameras also spotted the license plate on his car. Blood was also left behind at the scene following the chainsaw usage.
Did he cut himself, I guess?
Probably.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's really a lot, huh?
I wish they had the video.
I would love to see, like,
I'm curious.
I was going to try to see if I could find maybe the surveillance footage.
I'm just curious, like, how the chainsaw was exactly used. And then it's like, was like your entire plan. Because it's interesting. They resorted to the chainsaw after using a rock. They truly believed that they were going to take a rock to a window and break in. Like,
I mean, I guess if it's like a big enough one, I don't know.
But like, they were there 2 days earlier. That means they scouted the place out. You can tell if a window is breakable via rock or not.
Well, let's be honest. Most people stealing these Pokemon cards might not be the brightest kids on the block.
Facts.
It's
Yeah,
you know,
that's a good point.
It is crazy though that like a chainsaw, like it's so Florida, man.
Wouldn't it be funny if his name was Denji?
Oh, that'd be funny. Yeah.
It's not Florida, man. It's Chainsaw Man.
The incident's just the latest in a long, long run of break-ins and thefts. Targeting Pokemon is hugely lucrative and often hard to find trading cards. Back in January, people were held at gunpoint in a raid in Manhattan. We covered that. Nintendo then got in touch with the store to change its name. We covered that. In December, $100,000 worth of stock was swiped from a store in Burbank. We covered that. Numerous other examples have also occurred.
You know, Paul, I'm about to start rumors about all my ops that my ops have like $100,000 in Pokemon cards stashed they place. And I just then
that's
after
just
I
how
start
you
the
get,
rumor,
yeah.
and now I just wait.
I didn't hear about this one. They say last month another desperate Pokemon fan was arrested in Pasadena, California, after hiding inside a closed Best Buy ahead of a Pokemon card drop.
What movie is this?
So I guess he hid amongst the
harebrained
shelves.
Hollywood-ass scheme.
Yeah, that's really quite a lot, isn't it? But that's the I mean, listen, man, this is the Pokemon TCG.
Yo, I'm trying to get into the headspace of someone who has decided they are going to hide inside this Best Buy until it closes, and then try to like. Were they trying to steal or purchase?
I mean, it sounds like they were trying more so to purchase,
which is it's crazy to do a like. I guess it's not breaking and entering because you're already in. You didn't break anything, but at that point, it's definitely trespassing.
Yeah, you just like, yeah.
It's crazy to commit a crime in order to pay money.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he was trying to steal them. Who knows?
Even that, it's like, that's also crazy. The idea that you might try to lock yourself in this Best Buy so you can steal. I can't think of a worse way to steal something than to lock yourself in the place you're stealing it from.
Very worrying.
Oh
God!
Worrying. They need to make a documentary about this. I need to see this on Netflix.
There is probably a documentary in the works about just the crazy world of Pokemon theft because, like, it's gotten so weird to me. Like, we've covered the vending machines and the fights and the Walmarts and all this stuff. And it's just kind of like, what is it that is like the devil gene in these people? Like, what?
I was going to say mental illness, but it also could be just like capitalism.
Yeah, so I was going to say, it might just be, this is what capitalism has kind of done. Like, we're just, people don't feel like, and I'm being serious here, like maybe people just feel like the only chance at upward mobility economically is to hit it big.
Flip an Umbreon.
Hitting an Umbreon card. Because I mean, like, not to get too into the weeds of it all, but like there's just kind of been this huge surge in like, speculative markets and sports betting and just all this gambling. And so it's sort of like, it feels like America's almost telling you got to find a come up. Like you have to like force your luck and like be the next guy to flip those Pokemon packs.
You got to. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, someone's got to, and it's got to be you hiding in the Best Buy store.
Crazy.
There is one last card game story, and this is one that I think you will have a lot more to say about than me.
Me? Really?
Or at least, I don't have anything really. Chaotic.
Chaotic returns. The beloved trading card game franchise announces relaunch with physical cards, organized play, and a new online experience. So this is the press release. It says the battle drones are reopening. Today, Chaotic Entertainment, in partnership with Panini America, if you ever played that old like Dragon Ball card game, you might recognize Panini. But they're mostly known for sports cards. Officially announced the relaunch of the iconic Chaotic trading card game franchise, marking one of the most anticipated returns in TCG history. Is that anticipated? We'll see. The revival will
their press
debut.
Release, so they have to make you sound that way.
That's it. It's true. They can't write it the way I talk about it. That would be terrible. The revival will debut with an all-new lineup of physical trading cards, a nationwide organized play program, and an innovative online experience backed by AWS Games. Amazon Web Services?
I don't know what that means. And what are they doing with it?
The initial Chaotic card release is scheduled by Panini for late October 2026 in hobby stores, specialty retailer GameStop, and EB Games Canada. Wow, 2026 October. That's sooner than
relatively
I'd expect.
soon.
This will be followed by a major retail release in January 2027. Okay, so that's a little more of a limited thing. The first starter decks and booster packs will introduce players to the rich story of the world of Perum with 4 distinct creature tribes, inventive battle gear, explosive attacks, immersive locations, and powerful magic, supported via the upscaled high-definition 79 Chaotic animated episodes.
Okay, tell me about Chaotic.
All right, bet. I don't remember a whole lot, if I'm being honest with you. So it's very strange. I distinctly remember watching the Chaotic cartoon as a child. I distinctly remember enjoying it a lot. I remember that my brother Alex played the online Chaotic game quite a bit, and I played it a little bit.
What was the gist of Chaotic?
I couldn't tell you. That's the weird part about it. I actually don't remember the specifics of Chaotic.
Not even like just the print. Like, was it just sort of like creatures battle? Because like a lot of stuff is like kind of creature collector, like like
I remember
Rancher.
in the anime, like the characters could like turn into the monsters that they're playing with, or something along those lines, and then they would battle. Yo, I'm sorry, Paul. I honestly don't remember what Chaotic was about. I remember that I like it a lot, and I remember that it was the first example of a digital card game and a physical card game that both existed at the same time.
There was a digital card game?
Mm-hmm. You could buy you could buy the physical cards and play the game physically, but they could also be they had codes on them you can plug into the online client and play with them online too.
Okay. So I guess they're bringing it back. How does it make you feel? You excited? You're buying
there's
in?
there's that millennial dread of nostalgia. And I call it dread because capitalism has been milking my nostalgia out of me for years now. Yeah. But so that part of me can't help but be excited because I know I liked it as a kid. I just don't remember it. So there is
dissonance going on.
I know it's very confusing. I have an excitement for it because I know I liked it. And that's coming back, that's cool. However, I am a realist who lives in the modern day, and there's some glaring red flags here that I don't think can really be ignored.
What are the red flags? What do you think of?
So, Chaotic is releasing in October of 2026. That is this year. We're getting our first announcement of it only 6 months out?
Not even 6, kind of more like 4.
Oh Jesus, yeah, 4 months out from release. That is a little worrisome given all the promises they're making about this for a foray into the franchise. But it's not impossible, right? You can get cards printed in half a year, but I feel like that's all there will be come October. I don't think there will be an organized play program this year. I think there will be cards in GameStop and some card shops. Yeah. But they're also Chaotic was one of the big parts of Chaotic was the anime or the cartoon. I don't think it was actually an anime, but it was the cartoon series. And that has to play a role, if we're going to bring Chaotic back. But they mentioned that they're just upscaling the original 79 episodes of the anime. Which, once again, I keep calling it anime, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't anime. Show. But so we're reusing media that already existed.
And it has concluded.
That concluded, or maybe I think it might have been canceled. I forget exactly how that worked. But that's going to form the backbone of this game. And so if had they announced we're making a new Chaotic anime, I'd have been like, okay. But because we're using the old one, I'm like, that's a little too nostalgic even for me.
Right, yeah. I don't know anything about Chaotic. I had heard about it. I remember when I first started coming to card shops, I'd hear some people kind of speak with a degree of yearning around it. So there's that. I think that the two things that stick out to me are, first and foremost, I feel like I'm a broken record saying this, the card game industry is tightly packed. It's very saturated. There are a lot of games, and it is just so difficult, I think, for a new game to come into the fray, find an audience, continue to exist past the first year or two, and even made even more difficult by the fact that there's not kind of a currently airing piece of media with it. This is almost entirely hinges on your recognition of a show from 20 years ago. And that means that outside of some rare exceptions, or maybe somebody showing their kid this game, there would be very little on-ramp for like a young person to get into this, because it's like, well, it's a show that's been off the air for 15, 20 years, however long, and so they would just never have encountered it and have no reason to organically encounter it. So this game and this brand and this IP mean nothing to them. So then the next people left are maybe somebody like you or me who remembers it from our childhood, but like we're already sort of entrenched in a lot of card games.
Plenty.
And we're certainly not starved for choice at this point. This game is coming out, around the same time that the Cyberpunk TCG is also coming out this year. It's going to have to compete with that. And that's not even like the last game that we're going to be talking about in this podcast. There's another card game, or like kind of card game story from another company they're about to get to. And so it just makes me think, like, going back to that whole thing about, you see things in your sort of Twitter, like social media sphere. I've seen people who are very excited about this. They're like, yes, Chaotic is coming back. I remember this. I remember so-and-so from Chaotic. But the people saying that are like, 30 or whatever. And
you kind of have to be.
And some of them are just like maybe like nostalgic content creators or whatever. So it's like, man, are they, are you excited about the idea of it? Or are you actually really planning on like playing this? Because
at this point, I don't think you can avoid having to drop something if you're going to get into it, right?
Yeah.
Like, is Chaotic going to make you drop Yu-Gi-Oh? Is it going to make you drop Magic? Are you going to drop, like, One Piece? Like,
here's what they've got to say. They've got a 3-pillar launch strategy, which this is pretty exciting. Physical trading cards, which is the new Chaotic TCG launches with a foundational set including hundreds of all new cards. Players will collect and battle creatures from 4 tribes, equip them with gear, battle across locations that are iconic. Each card features the breathtaking art style that made the original franchise a cult classic, now enhanced with modern printing technologies and premium finishes. So that's a pretty promising start.
Right.
I'm hoping that it's not just like kind of the Google Images card game that I love to hate so much, where it's just screenshots from the show.
No.
It sounds
Chaotic,
like they're
the show and the cards look completely different.
Okay. Here's part 2 of the 3-pillar strategy. Their organized play program, beginning in Q1 2027, it's going to roll out to hobby stores across the United States and Canada, featuring in-store events led by trained Chaotic ambassadors and our partner Brian David Marshall of Mothership Games. I wonder what they mean by trained ambassadors.
How do you get trained? I guess you could.
Here's the apply and maybe.
Yeah, that probably exists. That makes sense.
A full calendar of tournaments and learn to play events at the retail and convention levels. Okay, so they'll be at some conventions.
Which is smart.
Nice.
Like, gotta grow your audience.
Exclusive promotional cards and themed giveaways, and a pathway for dedicated players to compete at higher levels. They say that we believe Chaotic is best experienced face to face with friends, trading, playing, and sharing strategies. And then I guess the last of their 3 pillars is the Progressive Web App, or PWA, online experience. For the first time in franchise history, Chaotic will offer a fully integrated mobile online experience through a custom-built PWA. Unlike traditional App Store offerings, this offers players access to Chaotic directly through their tablet and mobile browser with no downloads, no updates, and no platform gatekeepers. It is scheduled to feature a card scanner, card collection, deck building, gameplay, strategy guides, an event locator, and the Chaotic TV show in high definition, and more. So this sounds actually pretty cool. Like, at least on paper, there's basically, I want to call it an app, but I guess they're kind of emphasizing that it's not really an app. It's more like just...
No, it's a web platform.
It's a web platform. You can go to it, and it's sort of your Bandai TCG Plus, Yu-Gi-Oh! Neuron, whatever sort of equivalent, where you can scan your cards, you can build your collection, you can make decks. It seems like it's sort of a gameplay sim? They say gameplay. I don't know if that's...
I mean, you could play the original Chaotic online, so I would assume the new Chaotic is much the same.
You can find hobby stores, and I guess just watch episodes of the show, which I suppose that... It sounded crazy to me in 2026, but I suppose like for a show that's like a bajillion years old or whatever, like they probably just can get the rights to that pretty easily. So it's here. Just watch this old high-res upscaled show. What do you think about that? I saw your face. You looked a little thoughtful.
It's ambitious. And, you know, I've seen some of the biggest card game companies in the world flub, like, smaller endeavors. So I think, you know, the Chaotic team and Panini are asking a lot of us to, you know, ride this like hype wave, because this is just words. Like,
yeah,
they haven't shown anything, and given the fact that they're gonna have their release so soon this year, I would have liked to see something credible.
Yeah, I haven't, to my knowledge, seen any of the cards, so I don't think they've revealed that yet. I mean, maybe their outreach kind of to social media, marketing, content creators, perhaps, is on the way. Like, I could certainly see this being something that's shown at maybe like a Gen Con sort of event.
Yeah, I mean, they have the summer. I'm sure the summer will be a big part of their rollout. We've seen other card games. They've done a longer road to release.
Yeah, Bandai games tend to be kind of have more of a like, they market for almost like 9 months or so,
pretty
before.
well ahead of time. And even the Cyberpunk TCG
Right.
started their marketing way ahead of time.
Yeah.
This feels kind of sudden, and I can't help but feel that this is someone's... They're leveraging past success to try and cash in on the TCG boom of today.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're fully gonna back that up.
Well, Alec, you buying? You taking a crack?
Like, I'm gonna need to see something. Like, right now, I'm very, very, very skeptical, and I've been skeptical pretty much every new card game we've talked about on this podcast. But this one, I feel even more skeptical about. I'm just gonna need to see something.
Well, maybe you'd like to hear a little bit more about the fourth wave that is transforming the card game industry. If you're curious about what
Chaotic?
that is
it the fourth wave?
It isn't. This one comes to us from Bushiroad. They figured it out. They've gotten to the bottom of the
Bushiroad
bottle.
needs to figure it out, honestly.
Yeah, they've made it to the bottom of the beer bottle, and at that place they have found the fourth wave transforming the card game industry. This fourth wave is, simply put, simultaneous multilingual release and global expansion. So this is just this like kind of newsroom press release that they released like a week or two ago. It's really long, but I'm going to try to hit the high points here. So this is Kidani, who I guess is, like a first and last name?
No, it's Kidani. Why are you asking questions?
Oh, yeah, I guess I should know what that is. I'd like to talk about a major trend shaping the future of the card game industry. In essence, I believe a fourth wave has been surging since last year. This fourth wave is, simply put, simultaneous multilingual release and global expansion. Let me explain things in order. To begin with, what were the first through third waves of card games? So he kind of goes on to say that consider what might cause a TCG to end. Of course, its lifespan is over if the players disappear, but the creators can also reach a limit. The first thing that comes to mind is running out of characters to make into cards. It sounds simple, but it's actually a major hurdle. To continuously develop a card game, it's necessary to create the illusion that the cards and characters are everlasting.
True.
This very illusion is an essential condition for establishing the TCG genre. The reason this illusion is needed is that this hobby requires significant time and money, and players form friendships and communities through it. They naturally tend to avoid games that look like they might end. Which I gotta say, this guy's spitting.
Yeah,
I think it's very inside baseball, but he says Magic the Gathering, released in 1993, established itself as an industry legend. Subsequent games like Pokemon also saw more monsters with each new video game, so there was no worry of running out of characters. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Masters and our own Cardfight Vanguard can be considered subtypes of this first wave. The second wave is our very own Y Schwartz, launched in 2008. It borrows and features characters from various anime and games. As such, it also doesn't have to worry about running out of characters. Many other crossover character type card games have been released by other companies. I think that Union Arena probably would be the one that comes most to mind.
It'll be like a late member to the second wave.
For a long time, the card game industry was dominated by these two types. Those belonging to the first wave, which could endlessly generate characters, and those of the second wave, which could feature popular characters.
It's true, because at one point, Y Schwartz was the only game like it, of its like ilk.
Yeah, I don't remember. There might be like one other that I'm forgetting. HeroClix? Or is that something different?
Is HeroClix a card game?
No, I think it's more of a board game. There's something else that there's some other game that people would play. I just don't remember what it was.
It was probably Japanese or very niche.
Then came the third wave with the One Piece card game in 2022. It broke the conventional understanding of the card game industry, proving that even a single work as the source material could sustain continuous development. Of course, it requires the series to have a long history, an abundance of characters, and global popularity, but its impact on the industry was immense. Since then, Bushiroad has also released titles like the quintessential Quintuplets card game and Love Live. What is it?
Never knew exactly how that was pronounced.
A virtual card game. The influence of the third wave is not limited to the card game industry. From this year into the next, I foresee various entertainment companies releasing new card games based on individual works. And he'd be right, because there is Riftbound, Cyberpunk, so Okay. Anyways, they're having a milestone year. They're announcing, they're celebrating, whatever. But he talks about the fourth wave is already upon us, which, to reiterate, is the simultaneous multilingual release of card games. For example, if you release a Japanese version and then an English version a year and a half later, it is far too late.
Yeah, you're behind, bro.
Even if the English version doesn't sell very poorly when delayed, the missed sales opportunity is significant compared to a simultaneous Japanese-English release. From a user's perspective, a product where everyone already knows what the strong cards are is not going to be very enticing, is it? Ooh, I like this guy. He's kind of speaking my language, honestly. Listen up, Konami. The card game market is still largely centered on the US and Japan, with other countries like China entering the scene. So at a minimum, the Japanese and the English versions need to be released simultaneously. I feel the card game industry transitioned last year into an era where simultaneous multilingual release and global expansion is the standard. For our part, the Pal World official card game, which Bushiroad's doing, launching this July, will be released simultaneously in Japan, English, and simplified Chinese. For new titles we release going forward, we're also planning their expansion in similar, simultaneous, multilingual formats. So, that was a long-winded letter, but I think he hits on some very good points here.
Yeah, man, that boy Kidani, he knows some things.
It is very rare and refreshing to hear this come out of like a card game publishing company,
especially like a Japanese one, where you think usually it's more like hush hush on such subjects,
and you wouldn't really want to necessarily acknowledge your competition, right? Mm-hmm. Like you wouldn't want to mention Yu-Gi-Oh at all, or mention One Piece, or any of that. But the fact that they did, I think, is really cool. What do you think? Think this is this is the kind of the key fourth wave of card games? I'm inclined to agree.
I don't think it's the fourth wave.
Yeah, I think the word wave kind of sounds like it's maybe.
Like the things that came before it felt more like a wave. I think this is the next major adaptation that card games are making, and then new card games need to come out with in order to be competitive in this market.
Right.
We've already seen like Bandai they've been merging their games, and
I certainly think that Yu-Gi-Oh needs to be merging its game. I
Yu-Gi-Oh
talked about that
does
earlier.
Need to. Yeah, that delay thing it's a thing of the past, man. Like
It does feel very
get on the wave. It is a
the
wave.
fourth wave. No, but I do think that it is very antiquated to kind of structure a game that way. Now, in Yu-Gi-Oh's case, it's like a kind of 4-month delay, roughly, kind of give or take.
Feels like half a year.
It can, with Master Duel, it can be longer.
I think it's because of like they announce the cards before they even come out in Japan. So we'll see the cards like a month before they release in Japan, which makes it more like a 5-month delay.
Yeah, it can really, in these like anime manga promos, there's no telling even like when some of that stuff. But anyway, yeah, the point is he seems to believe that this is sort of the fourth wave, and like I think it certainly feels like it's something like that.
And I do think we need to start tightening up on these card games. It's getting more competitive. I think you have to do whatever it takes to get each and every sale you can get. If people like your product, but they might not buy because of that delay,
Right.
like kind of taking the hype out from underneath them.
Yeah, you can't miss out on sales.
Tighten that up. Get rid of the delay then.
Yeah, you can't.
need, if people are interested in your game, you want every single one of them to buy.
You want them to be
nobody
able
should
to-
get turned off because they had to wait.
It's important that they need to be able to purchase it the moment that they hear about it and not have to wait. I was going to say, it sounds like we're sort of hesitant to call this the fourth wave, but we certainly accepted it as something. What would you say is the fourth wave? Or, like, I mean, maybe it doesn't exist yet, right? But, like, what if you had to maybe guess? Because I have something in mind that I think could sort of be considered.
I mean, so to me, the true fourth wave is the marriage of the physical and the digital.
Same. That was what I was going to say. As I think the fourth wave would be having a digital component to your
like
card
in
game.
that, by that logic, Chaotic, they riding that fourth wave.
Maybe. It sounds like, I'm not even sure if there's actually a sim. They said gameplay, but I don't know if that's what that
It
means.
should be, only because that was the kind of like big hallmark of the original Chaotic, was that you could play it online too.
Right. Okay, yeah. I mean, I think that it is probably pretty important for any major card game to be at least working on some sort of a simulator, just because the world has collectively moved so digital. Like, you're just so in front of screens that, like, it can't really hurt. It certainly can't hurt your card game to have, a Master Duel, an MTG Arena.
And nobody's had to actually like sunset a card game sim. Not like any of the majors, right? Like they do well. They do well. So just do it, people.
Yeah, they're arguably easier to monetize, I would guess. Like, just because there's less you have to like deal with kind of physical products. It's just you can just sell your premium currency, drip feed, new cards, things like that. So I'm inclined to think that digital is kind of an expectation, although a lot of card games don't actually have digital components, and they're doing just fine.
But
so maybe that's
because they're old.
I mean, even One Piece doesn't have one.
One Piece doesn't have one, but then people immediately made a fan one.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a strong desire.
Right. So that's what I'd say maybe my personal fourth wave is, but I think that Kidani...
I know they
it's certainly onto something.
They onto something.
So that's what Bushiroad had to share with us today, and I would love to hear other people's opinions of this stuff as well.
Same. Sony patents AI feature that can play ads during loading screens.
Oh, joy.
Yeah.
Well, this sounds fun.
So Sony has patented a new feature that aims to fill the time during loading screens with videos, clips, and even ads. I thought we'd moved away from loading. We're trying to move away from loading screens.
That's so true, isn't it? Because weren't they billing the PS5 or whatever? It's like the SSD means you'll never have to look at a loading screen again.
Never see one again. Now we're gonna start baking them in so we can show ads.
Okay, so this. Well, okay, this is just a patent, so it doesn't like they're
That doesn't mean
announcing this
it's
will
happening,
happen.
but boy, are they trying.
So I guess how would this work? Did they
So,
say?
spotted by MP First, Sony filed a patent for a system that uses AI to show players short-form content while they wait for their game to resume. It would use picture-in-picture to display videos on a screen while the loading takes place in the background. Boy, whatever it takes to keep that attention span, huh?
Goodness.
There are a number of different content types mentioned in the patent, from social media clips to gameplay highlights. It even mentions showing a report of the other players in the game, outlining their ranks and loadouts.
Okay, the system could also be used to display ads, surprise, surprise, either for the game currently being played or something external. For example, if you're playing Fortnite, an advert could be played for the new season or a skin coming to the store. Okay, so I don't know where to start with this.
I can think of a couple angles on this one. I think first off, Sony, nobody wants this. I think we should get out the way right now. Sony, nobody wants this.
I don't think that anybody's like willingly inviting this into their gaming. However, after reading this article, I thought it was going to be worse than what the headline made me think that it was literally going to be like, okay, TikTok is scrolling by on you. Like during the loading screens, like TikToks will play, and it's just like people dancing and doing crazy. So it seems like the idea is that it will be what they are hoping is relevant information to the user.
That's what marketers always
That's
say.
what they would, that's the ideal scenario here, is that like it's an ad for something else, another game you'd find exciting, or maybe it's even like useful in-game information, which, to be fair, some games already, like some live service games kind of already like advertise skins on loading screens, so that wouldn't be anything new.
But the fact that Sony's trying to build, like the idea they might build it into the base build of your PlayStation plays ads now.
Yeah. I also think like it's just, and this is going to sound like truly, we are circling the drain here, is our attention spans like truly this precious that we are like, just the user cannot take even seconds of downtime. Like they must be stimulated by video, like, and noise and music and lights, like flashy colors, like at all times. I mean, I guess like maybe they figure you, the viewer, during the loading screens already pick up your phone anyway, and you're distracted.
Right.
So maybe this would keep your eyes on the screen and like give you more to consider buying, or and better wire you to keep playing longer. I don't know. Like, I mean, do you find like, what are you're thinking?
All right, Paul, I got it. You see this? You see what I got here?
Yeah. What do you got?
This is. I'm tossing some capitalist bail here.
Okay.
All right. So check it out. This may be.
People get angry at us when we do this. By the way, we're being shills. Just keep that in mind.
This may be a good thing.
Okay.
Check it out. Check it out. No, let me paint a picture for you guys. All right.
What do you have to say?
PlayStation 6 comes out in 2028. Right.
Right.
And then they announce the base price of the base PS6.
$1,000.
You know what they're gonna say? $400.
Okay.
They're like, yeah, you can get a PS6 for $400. That's less than you had to buy a PS5 for, and it still has better specs across the board than the PS5.
Right.
It's like, well, how is this possible? How could you sell me a better hardware for less years later with inflation?
And it's subsidized through ads?
Exactly.
Right. Okay, so that's actually, that is not unheard of at all. There are a couple of places where this exists, actually. The probably most notorious being Amazon, like Kindles and stuff. There are Kindles
I do remember that.
They're subsidized by ads, so that's how they're able to charge like $99 for them or whatever. There are also TVs. Amazon does TVs, and there are also others from like LG and stuff where you can get a heavily discounted TV, like a 4K, 50, 60-inch TV or whatever. But
that bad boy gonna show you some ads.
But ads are basically like unavoidably like burned in.
Baked into
They're always
the whole
going
experience.
to be playing. There was that one TV I saw where like it had like there's like a separate little like sliver of a screen underneath the main screen that always would have ads playing.
Oh, that's crazy.
And so like even while you're watching your content, like it's always playing ads. You could not turn it off. And if you tried to, it would ping back to home and disable the whole TV. So there was, yeah, like I remember hearing about that and like,
could you imagine that happening? You're playing your PlayStation and like you're like, oh, I can't fuck these ads. We turn this shit off.
Yeah.
And it cuts off the game.
yeah, and people would try to like homebrew it, and if you tried to, it would notify the company and like disable the whole thing.
Woo!
So yeah, and also like they've even tried to kind of subsidize the sale further by allowing you to like pay it in like X months, right? Like kind of a lease thing deal, whatever. You're getting like this nice 4K TV, but like it's also just like $15 a month for this TV, but you're gonna get some ads. So there's that, and I've also seen Samsung phones that have this, where like they're cheaper low end phones.
Oh, like the A,
kind of the A series and some of that they're budget phones, but you're gonna have ads on your home screen or your lock screen or whatever, and they're just sort of eternally playing. At first, they were just for other Samsung services, which sounds vaguely like what Sony would be proposing here, where it's like you're not getting ads for like diapers or something. It's a gaming ads or maybe another game. So it's not unheard of. Like
it's
if this
G Fuel ads.
If this can truly translate to a discounted experience, I think that there would be some people who would like actually be happy with that arrangement.
He did it, guys. He caught the capitalist bail.
Yeah, that's right.
He caught it.
Now, my question to you is like, would you if you saw that the PS6 comes out, they announce it tomorrow or whatever, which by the way, there's a State of Play next week, Sony's State of Play.
We might get a release window.
So there's going to be some cool announcements there. We'll talk about that next week. But the point is, if they say the PS6 is coming out, it's like $800. Right. It's obscenely expensive. And there's also one that's like $400, but like you're gonna get an ad or two.
Right.
Could you be convinced?
I mean, it's a great deal. Like you'd have to absolutely not. No, I would never buy a system with baked in ads. I don't care how much the discount is. I'll suffer. All right. I'll eat water soup for a month if I have to.
Yeah, I think that my main fear is that even this little bit of bail that we're giving them would not be the case.
I don't think it would.
I don't think they would ever actually offer this. I think that they would you're still going to pay exactly how much they want to charge for the PS6.
Well, I think they knock it off 100.
No, they won't.
I think like, look, you can get it for 700.
I don't think they will. Maybe 100. Okay,
I think they knock
sure,
100 off.
But like, you're gonna watch those ads. You know what I mean? Because like we've seen those patents for like. Do you remember like the McDonald's one?
McDonald's?
Like
one?
there's like this TV patent where it was like, yeah, like if a McDonald's ad shows up on the TV, like you have to repeat back to the TV and the microphone that you heard the ad. Like the commercial ends and it's like
that was like a Netflix thing.
Yeah, and you have to yell at your TV mic like
gotta say the slogan.
McDonald's, like say whatever the slogan of the ad is.
I'm feeling it.
I'm loving it. Or whatever.
That's it.
And until you say that, the ad won't go away. So I mean, how intrusive this is, I think, would play a big role. Like my second thought on, however many thought on this would be like, are the loading screens going to like be elongated so that this ad can finish playing? Because
man, they're gonna tell game developers, hey yo, take your foot off the gas a little.
Yeah, let the things
load.
Breathe a little bit.
Let them load a little bit.
Because if the loading screens on games are like 6 seconds, then sure, whatever. But like, if the loading screens are like, we're talking Skyrim level, a minute-long loading screen where they can cram like 4 15-second ads into that, it's like...
You have the real Netflix with ads experience.
I also wouldn't want them to like have... Like my least favorite thing with ads is like the music and like the noise. Like if it's a muted ad, I can kind of just like check out. But if it's like playing like, blah, 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 and State Farm, it's like...
Liberty.
Yeah, I would hate that. So I hope they don't do this. I hope this is just a patent and never comes to be.
Agreed.
Okay, well, speaking of expensive things, Steam Deck price increase announced by Valve.
I didn't predict this one, but I should have.
Yeah. So the Steam Deck which is a popular, Valve mobile or portable computer game console. I actually have one. It's
Yes,
really
you
great.
do.
Valve has announced a substantial price increase for the Steam Deck. The company announced today that all new OLED models are officially back in stock after months being out of stock.
That's fire.
But they will be getting a price increase.
That's not fire.
The lowest tier model, which is the 512 gigabyte OLED Steam Deck, was previously $549. It will now cost, Alec, $789. $789.
Yeah,
That
damn.
is a $240 increase. That's the largest price hike out of like PlayStation's 2 and
Oh, man, this is
Microsoft's
done,
2.
Yo,
The
this
Nintendo
is
one,
it.
the premium 1 terabyte OLED Steam Deck was previously
Oh,
$649, will now cost $949. So it's a $300 jump. Valve stated that, quote, these new prices reflect the current state of component costs and other global logistical challenges across the industry as a whole. Now, what do you think about this? This is crazy.
Oh yeah, they done, bro. Like Steam Deck is over.
I don't think that anyone's buying one.
This is it. Like
That's insane. If you didn't get one before, too bad.
I know they're planning on making like multiple Steam Decks. It's over with.
Well, so that's what's
I think
scary
this
about
has
too.
killed the Steam line.
Well, I mean, certainly a Steam Deck, but here's the thing: this does not bode well for the Steam machine, because if the
Certainly
Steam
not.
Deck is having to
That's why I
increase,
said the Steam line.
yeah, the Steam line, because if the Steam Deck is having to like do this chunky of a price increase, it's like 40% increases basically on these things. Then and this is no fault of Valve's, right? They're
Yeah.
just that's the state of securing components right now for companies. I know that the reason why they're having to increase even more than Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo did is because one, these are my guesses, I don't have anything to back this up, but Valve is a smaller company than those companies are.
Right.
So they probably are having even tougher time securing bulk orders for parts and getting them at like lower rates. But also parts for the really complex sort of portable computer, those are usually more expensive, So this even extended to refurbished like Steam Decks.
Ooh.
Which is a very like kind of feels bad, man, because these are refurbished products. So how can a refurbished product go up
It can.
in price? And
Inflation.
so refurbished LCD Steam Decks sold through Steam will not have a price increase, though it does appear that the refurbished OLED Steam Decks will still cost more than their original prices. So the 512 and 1 terabyte refurbished now cost $629 and $759 respectively. Man, rough.
I mean, okay. I reacted harshly at first, but you know what?
What?
I think this might be okay. Because if I remember correctly, the Steam Deck was the cheaper option in the like PC handheld landscape.
Yeah, those
The, like,
ROG Allies.
Yeah,
were,
ROG Allies.
They were pretty high.
Lenovo's got one too. And I
Yeah.
remember they're all. I believe all of those were already in the thousands.
They were usually like started at about $750 for their low end ones, and then the high end ones would be like right at $1,000. Could even maybe sometimes.
I mean,
punch above
in a
it.
way, they're just getting in line with their direct competition.
Right. So,
I mean, it really depends on how big the PC handheld market is.
Yeah, how much can they bear? Because like, I can only hazard a guess at what I guess demand elasticity looks like in this particular sort of industry. Because like, I think that for established game consoles like the PS5, there are people who will still, I guess, buy a PS5 even after its price increase. It just has that name recognition.
Right.
I don't know that, you gotta want a Steam Deck pretty bad. Pretty bad.
And the thing is, once a gaming device enters into that $1,000 territory, I think you have to start asking yourself, well, if I'm gonna spend like a lot of money, maybe I should try to spend it efficiently.
Yeah.
And I don't know if a like lower powered gaming device is the best use of $1,000.
I think what's going to be also tricky for the Steam Deck is that Steam Deck's always had an interesting distinct advantage over, say, the ROG Ally or the Lenovo Go or whatever it was called. And that is that it's native Steam support, which they support Steam, but like, kind of having Steam OS on this was always sort of a first party benefit of sorts. And it had good specs for the money. So technically the ROG Ally like had better specs or maybe a higher res screen and stuff, but like it was just so much more expensive that it kind of felt like it was in a different product tier.
Right.
Here now, like the Steam Deck's pricing basically puts it just in that same product tier. So it really loses the competitive advantage of pricing that it had. And that makes me worry for it.
Oh, man, it's so interesting.
I also think of the Steam machine, there was a time where it kind of sounded like it was maybe going to be like $700-ish, maybe $800. This was always speculation. There was never any hard confirmations. I think at this point, I don't actually see a world where the Steam Deck releases for anything less than like $900.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And that's probably like the most optimistic price.
I worry about the whole Steam line still, just because the gaming console market is already well defined. You're a new entrant, and you're showing up. It seems like they're gonna have to show up pricing right about where their competition's already pricing.
Yeah.
And then now it's gonna shine a light on your hardware itself. Well,
now people are a lot more critical of every spec.
Yeah,
because
if you come in at a lower price point, people are more forgiving,
right,
and they're more willing to say, "Well, I'm buying this for the future." But if it's now becomes like a 1-to-1 comparison,
yeah, maybe you're losing out on that appeal. I mean, and this isn't just a Steam thing, right? Like the fact that this is happening means that, say, Xbox's Project Helix that they've announced will. And this probably doesn't bode well for it either. Like, if this is the state of getting components, that Helix they were always saying was kind of going to be like a luxury gaming experience. Maybe it was going to be like $1,000. That could be like $1,200 or $1,300 now. Like, who knows?
It's tough.
And like you said, once you get in that price range, it's like, man, what else could $1,000 be spent on?
And honestly, there's quite a few different things.
Even for a person who has the expendable income, like there are still other things you could just be buying with that. Like it's a tough one. Okay, well, here's something AI related. Got a little AI in here.
Right. I'm ready to be horrified. I'm ready.
Yeah, you will be, because Stan Lee.
No.
Yeah.
Let that man die.
Well, I mean, they let him die. They're just bringing an aspect of him back. Stan Lee returns under AI Pact. 11 Labs licenses Marvel Legends' voice and likeness. The AI-generated version of the Marvel Legend who died in 2018 can read books, and users can generate his likeness in comics-inspired visual templates. They have resurrected him.
Who is this for?
The AI audio company 11 Labs announced on Wednesday they said it struck an expansive deal with Stan Lee Universe, the joint venture between Genius Brands Entertainment or International and POW Entertainment, to add the late Marvel Comics writer's voice and likeness to the 11 Labs iconic marketplace, which is basically this marketplace where you have a collection of celebrity personalities and likenesses that companies can license for commercial use. So if you want to, users can basically generate his likeness within templates inspired by comic book panels, and they can make pictures of him, and they can have him narrate them. The voice was trained on professional recordings of Lee, according to 11 Labs. You like?
No, absolutely not.
Well, listen, here's what they've got to say to you, Alec.
Who, 11?
Yeah, 11 Labs has something to say.
Fuck you, 11.
Stan always believed in meeting his fans where they were, in the pages of a comic, at a convention, or in a quick on-screen cameo. Chaz Rainey, a lawyer and board member for Stan Lee Universe, said in a statement, "This partnership is a way of continuing that. Fans have always told us that when they read his comics, they hear the words in Stan's voice. And now, thanks to 11 Labs, we can make that a reality." So, yeah. You ready to have Stan come back to life?
No.
And talk to you about the latest issue of Spider-Man?
You know what's special about Stan Lee's legacy?
Nothing, according to these people.
Is that it's over.
Yeah.
Stan Lee did what he did. He made what he made. He said what he said. And then all that got baked in and became history
A legacy.
after he passed.
Yes.
You can't, or at least not you can't, because clearly they are. You should not try to retread hallowed ground. It doesn't work that way. Your AI Stan Lee voice it's barely a representation. No, it's not even. It's not a representation of Stan Lee, because whatever you're going to have your AI Stan Lee say is not Stan Lee's actual words. It's not even Stan Lee's voice, because this is an AI approximation of their voice. The likeness is not even going to be of Stan Lee himself. Like, there's a reason why people will have these like signed like photographs of actors and like celebrities from the past.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up.
It's like it's a snapshot, a moment when that person was here, when they existed, when they were influential. There's no value in an AI approximation of Stan Lee.
Yeah. Sorry, did you have...
An AI saying Excelsior means nothing if the person who coined the term isn't behind it.
I agree. And I think that this is one of these cases where it actually... While this is like an AI story, I'm actually going to expand it a bit to another dilemma, I think, epidemic that's sort of taking over right now. So, we talk about a lot of AI stuff on this podcast. We're not really huge AI fans.
We hate it.
I have tried my hardest, I think, to find the times where I'm like, well, maybe if AI like summarizes something for your mom and it explains it to her, great, whatever, sure. It's this use of AI kind of just as a tool to just fabricate, like to deceive, because that's what this is. They don't want to say it. They're putting it all up, but it's sort of a deception. I mean, like it isn't Stan Lee, and they're going to sell it to these nostalgic fans as Stan Lee's back and he has something to say to you. Anyways, what I was going to say about this is it's this increasingly evident resistance to letting go of the past, ever letting anything die. This, like, it's been coined by many people as like toxic nostalgia. I think that's what this really is.
That's fair.
It's just this kind of like we collectively just can't let go of things, and we are kind of having this like glorification of the past, making up for time lost and like kind of going back to when it was easier or better or whatever. And
the good old days.
The good old days, the 80s, the 90s,
back
the 2000s.
When a man could be a man.
Yeah, and all that kind of comes with. When in reality, those days, while they might be colored by these rose-tinted goggles, like you were a kid and life was easy and you didn't know about all the hardships in the world, those days weren't perfect either. But also, like, if you can't move forward kind of collectively, you'll never, like, I mean, I just, like, the past is the past for, like, a reason. Like, honor him for what he did, for what he was. This whole, like, kind of, like, digging up graves digitally, kind of reanimating these people. And I guess I don't like that. I think that, like, there has to be, because we're seeing, we see it in movies and games and all this stuff where it's just like, go back to wherever, go back to the time, let's re-explore.
We're stifling forward progress.
And it's also kind of like, you can't escape, the thing that Dad's generation liked. Here, have his reheated nachos over and over and over again. Like,
I have a metaphor. It's not a one-to-one, but
please.
It's kind of like if we had AI back when Charlie Chaplin was the king of television. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine where we would be if we found a way to, like, reanimate Charlie Chaplin way back when, and so we could just continue watching Charlie Chaplin and not have to progress like TV?
Yeah.
Like, if I remember correctly, Charlie Chaplin, like, was silent. There was no color. If we were satisfied with that for its time, And if if we chose to hang on to it, like, no, I want to keep watching Charlie. Charlie is my like feel good like TV character. I don't want any more. We might not have the MCU today.
Yeah, it's very. I think that also.
Let me make sure I Google Charlie Chaplin. Make sure I got that right.
I mean, I also think while you do that, I also think like it's part of why I think people today have, you see so much like tension and disagreement around like anytime something new is announced, it's always just compared to the old. And oftentimes in a very negative way, like the new Star Wars things aren't as good as the old ones. The new whatever isn't going to ever live up to the old game or movie. The old Batmans were better. The old whatever was better. And it's like, the more that you try to reanimate someone like Stan Lee or kind of just remake this thing, remaster this thing, re-release this thing, go back here, like kind of this yearning for what life was like, you'll never move on, and new things have a tougher, and like people become like less willing to try new stuff, when in reality, right now is the best possible time to be alive if you enjoy entertainment. There are so many games that come out now. There are so many movies, like indie films and indie music and stuff.
We are completely engorged on just content.
Not starved for choice, but like still there's this undercurrent of like, it'll never be as good as the good old days in the past. And like, my last thing I'll say about this is like, what do you look like sitting in your room, like paying 11 Labs $40 or something to have Stan Lee say, air quotes, say something like in his voice, and you're just like kind of grinning to yourself like in satisfaction. Like what? I can't imagine what that does for you. Like I don't know that would really do it for me. I don't want to.
It shouldn't do it for anybody.
But I know that they're well aware. They spent a lot of money, I'm sure, on this deal. That there are people who can't let go of those things. Like they want, Luke Skywalker should be the main character of Star Wars into infinity. Bring him back from the dead if you have to, right?
Oh, it is Star Wars. Such things is not impossible.
Right, like it's just, they all, these old characters, these old worlds, they were better. We can't let go. I want to go back. I want to go back. I want to go back. So, yeah, I read this headline and it was probably the most sickening thing I've read today.
That's impressive because lots of sickening things happen every day.
All right, well, we're going to finish this one up with a little bit more toxic nostalgia, although this, I guess, maybe is not supposed to be as toxic.
Okay.
Retro Pizza Hut locations are coming back in select areas.
I don't know what that means.
So you might remember how Pizza Hut stores used to have the red top, and they had this little shape to them, right? Do you remember this?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah. As consumers increasingly seek comfort, familiarity, and connection, nostalgia is making a comeback in the restaurant industry, and Yum's brands are getting in on the game. From the decades menu at Taco Bell to the return of potato wedges at KFC, Pizza Hut is leaning into the trend in an even bigger way. A recent Today segment highlighted how classic restaurant brands are reviving retro designs and experiences that remind guests of family dinners, birthday celebrations, and memorable nights out. So basically, they're reopening these Pizza Hut locations in a few select places in America that will have iconic features from the brand's earlier years, including red cups, checkered tablecloths, cozy vinyl booths.
They bringing back the one in Bunkie? Sorry, I was looking at the list of stores.
Tiffany-style lamps. So you might have remembered these lamps. These are always really nice. Lamps. Classic arcade games, and even the unmistakable red roof design. Because you might notice that every McDonald's now, every Burger King, every Starbucks, they're all in that just generic gray steel rectangle box now.
Yeah.
They don't really have any personality.
It feels like nothing.
And so, as the saying goes, what's old is new again. And the renewed interest in nostalgic food and experiences reflect a broader cultural trend. So people want that comfort. They want that nostalgia. They want to go back. And so they're going to allow you to go back and re-experience Pizza Hut like it was when you were a kid. And there's a list of places where you can do it. What do you think?
I guess that's fine. like it's a market, it's an architecture, it's a marketing, it's an architectural project, it's a marketing thing. It could work, it could also not work. I guess it's fairly harmless.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
guess.
I don't know how many people were specifically waiting for Pizza Hut to bring the red roofs back.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that
is that I hate to say it. I think Pizza Hut has the wrong idea of like what motivates people to buy pizza.
so. My guess is that this is meant to be something that like it's it's comfortable. Maybe it's like a social media moment. Like you kind of you go,
It
you
does
take
feel
the
like a play for virality.
pictures. Yeah, and like you kind of say like I went and relived, early, late 90s, early 2000s Pizza Hut. And you snap a few pictures, a TikTok, and then you never go back again.
I just don't know if anyone's actually trying to relive like old school Pizza Hut.
So it's kind of one of these things where I think that it's an easy thing to say, like, man, I miss when it was like that, right? Remember back when McDonald's had the playpens and whatever, Burger King had the king was his mascot, now they don't have a mascot. It's like it's a fun conversation that I think you make with friends, but I don't know that anyone's actively. I mean, I guess that's what they're trying to find through doing this. It's like,
if
this
I'm gonna
will
get Pizza Hut, I'm gonna get Pizza Hut, and if I'm getting it, it's because of the pizza. Like most of the time, people don't even actually like drive to get food anymore. They just like order it on an app and it appears.
So I think that's what they're trying to see through this experiment is like in these select locations, will there be an uptick in people maybe coming in and having like family dining experiences, like mom, dad, and the kids go to Pizza Hut and get the buffet.
Do they think people were just gonna rewind time because they put new roofs on?
I mean, they're trying to sell you Stan Lee. Rewind time with that.
None of us knew Stan Lee. We're like, it doesn't like.
Now you can.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting negative. It's like late in the day. Here's the nicest thing I can say about this. And this is just for me personally. If I happen to be where one of these is and some friends all agree to it, I'd be like, let's go once and see what it's like. I don't think I would ever go again. Like, I think it could be an interesting novelty to do one time and be like, yeah, I did it. Like, I relived family dinner night at Pizza Hut or like,
I feel like I'm less likely to do it with the red roof.
Okay. Why is that? What do you...
Because they want me to.
Yeah, that's true. I guess because that element of like, it's not the real thing. It is a like curated modern marketing.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not interested in just like giving into your marketing. You're very blatant and honest marketing in this one case. Like, you got to work hard. I think you got to work harder for it. Like,
yeah.
Come on now, Pizza Hut.
So, yeah, that's the stories. I have a viewer question we can quickly go through. I know this pod's running a smidge long, so we'll zip through this one.
Okay.
Okay, this is a viewer question. Remember, guys, you can submit viewer questions in the community tab or also at the link in the description. Here's what this person's got to say. It's Luke from the United Kingdom. If Konami asked you to pick one product from another TCG to be released as a Yu-Gi-Oh product, what would you pick and why? For example, I would have Konami release Jumpstart packs for kitchen table players and sealed/draft play. That's like a type of Magic product, right? The Jumpstart pack?
Yeah.
Thanks for the pod and for keeping it on Apple and Spotify podcasts. Yeah, that's from Luke of the UK.
Well, Luke of the UK.
What product type would you want? A couple come to mind for me.
I guess I would say the
I think, okay, here's my two. I think that the Jumpstart pack is a good example. I was thinking of like maybe the draft booster, but I think, have they just folded that into the Jumpstart pack? Is that the same thing now?
The draft booster became the play booster.
Okay, or isn't it like the play boosters are like half normal and half draft, sort of like something like that?
Yeah, the play booster was a mix of the draft booster and the I forgot the original name of it. Anyway, you can draft with a play booster now.
Okay. Do you think that'd be like a cool Yu-Gi-Oh thing to
I mean,
have.
we've always talked about how we like Yu-Gi-Oh to be more draftable. I mean,
Yeah.
that would be what we didn't look for, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it does ask a bit of like card design too. It's not just a matter of a new product. Like
Because they
cards
also
would
have
have
to
to
go
be
to-
made to be draftable too.
Yeah, which God knows.
like-
Konami can
'Cause
barely do
I don't
that.
even know how you would take like let's say Blazing Dominion. How do you make that a draftable set? How do you draft that set?
Yeah, because I'm sitting here just begging for like battle packs to come back. Well, here's the other one I had was like elite trainer boxes from Pokemon. Like I always thought that it'd be cool if Yu-Gi-Oh kind of had an ETB of sorts, where in addition to getting maybe like 9 packs or something that you get in those, you also kind of throw in a couple accessories.
Some dice.
I remember when Magnificent Mavens gave you sleeves, and those sleeves went on to kind of be like it was a nice value.
Like
Because you got like 60 of them or something.
I remember when
or
battle
100
packs,
maybe?
the battle pack things gave us playmats.
Yeah, so maybe like in these sort of supposed ETBs, you get some dice, you get some sleeves, maybe a little makeshift deck box, a coin, a flip coin. I don't know. Like, throw a little something in there, charge like $40. I don't know. 45. I don't know how much. Like, I mean, ETBs nowadays are like $60 or something, but like
that's Pokemon.
that's Pokemon. So maybe make $40. I could be convinced to buy such a thing.
Quality would have to meet my standards.
Like, how do you mean?
Well, I mean, accessories are a big industry in the TCG market. Everybody.
Yeah, they would need to be.
You can't just float me a cardboard deck box and some like light plastic dice and call it a day.
Yeah, they need to feel more substantial.
It's got to feel like something like.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have these like big heavy metal dice. I'm not trying.
That has become the standard now.
I'm not trying to deal with them little like Monopoly like dice.
Yeah, people expect more. Okay. Well, I think that's it. I think we got to the end of it. This was a longer episode than usual because we kind of had like 2 weeks of stuff to cover. But we're glad you joined us for it.
You came along for the ride, and now you've made it to the end.
Yeah. So we will see you guys in the next one. Just another reminder, please make sure to thumbs up the video, leave a comment.
If you're on mobile, hype it up.
A positive review on Apple or on Spotify would certainly help us as well. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Pass turn.